Shalom Aleichem. We're going to continue to look into the Hamoshel Mehahendik, the Turkey Prince parable. We have covered the story, discussed who the Chacham is, and we've begun to unravel the prince and how it encapsulates our relationship with Hashem as the king, and as us as his sons and daughters, and how much pain he feels at our confusion. But we now sort of get almost to the real meat and potatoes of analyzing the Turkey Prince, and this will hopefully be one lesson, maybe two, depending on how it goes. So if we look carefully at the actual story, there's one more line that we need to reference. One more line we need to reference before we fully attack some of the details of the rehabilitation of the prince. So the line was, and we may have mentioned it when we talked about the Chacham, but I just want to highlight it one more time. The Lashon is, the language of the verse is, V'chol ha'roifim noyashu mila azor loy u'leraf oisai mizeh. So basically what this means is all other healers, the doctors, gave up any hope of helping him and healing him from this sickness. And this note, because as we referenced when we discussed the Chacham, sometimes we have to be our own Chacham, and as we get into a greater understanding of this this Nasi, this prince, this Ben Melech, this point is a very, very important point. Okay, so with that quick mention, we'll jump into analyzing now this sad soul in his confused moment. So the first thing that I want to mention is that the Ben Melech chooses out of all things to be a hendik. Now, we know a tarnagol, chicken, right? And there's many other animals, but for whatever reason, the mashal, the parable, chooses a turkey. Now, this is maybe a slight inference, but I think it holds water. Maybe one could argue it should be a cow, okay? But something that's unique about birds, rather than other domesticated animals that we keep in the home, that are like, not like a pet, right? Like a domesticated animal, like an animal that we're going to use for food or eggs or whatnot. A chicken and a turkey are two things that one could have in their home. Fun fact, my grandfather was a chicken dealer in Kensington Market, and my father once even mentioned he had some chickens in his own basement, and so this concept existed and still exists. Maybe not in where you live, but in third world countries and whatnot, chickens can make it into someone's home. I think that's important because the thing that the challenge that's placed on this Ben Melech, he's still in the home, and I think this is very important. And not only that, he's tachat hashulchan. He's still in a primary place of the home. Another point that I want to make is that, as I was trying to get at, is that he's not a chicken, he's a turkey. Now, one of the differences between a chicken and a turkey is size. A chicken is much smaller, a turkey is a lot stronger and a lot bigger, and one could even argue requires a slight amount of greater respect than just a regular old chicken. So this also hints at a certain amount of gravitas, a certain amount of chashivas, as we would say, value to this particular Ben Melech that's confused, but he picked something that, number one, allows him to remain in the home, and number two, isn't the absolute lowest bottom of the barrel animal. It is the turkey, which one can argue is slightly above the chicken. Okay, we'll call it there because I'm trying to keep these around 5 minutes. We'll hopefully analyze a little bit further the process of the Chacham and rehabilitating this confused soul. But just to reiterate, we basically did some recap, and then we sort of ended up adding 2 points. That number one, this Ben Melech ends up having a delusion which still allows him to be in the home, which will allow him to then be rehabilitated. This is an important point. And another point, which is slight inference, but I wanted to suggest that the hendik being chosen as the animal that this illusion of this Ben Melech is of a higher caliber than a turkey, and this also helps in that he doesn't have to raise himself from the absolute lowest of the depths. There's still some hints and fragments hidden in this parable where this person can come back from where from this delusion.